Hello dear students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's topic is types of semiconductors from chapter 5 Semiconductor Physics. So all the semiconductors, they are broadly classified into two categories: intrinsic semiconductors and extrinsic semiconductors. Extrinsic semiconductors are further classified into N-type semiconductors and P-type semiconductors. So let us see one by one the classification of semiconductors. So initially we have seen that semiconductors are classified into intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors. So whenever we consider a semiconductor in its pure form, then it is known as intrinsic semiconductor. For example, silicon, germanium, selenium, carbon, etc. Whenever they are in its pure form, they are intrinsic semiconductors. But whenever the semiconductors we add certain amount of small amount of suitable impurity to pure semiconductor so that its current carrying capacity is increased, then such type of semiconductors, these are called as extrinsic semiconductors. So broadly saying, we say that a pure semiconductor is called as intrinsic semiconductor, and a semiconductor formed by adding certain suitable impurity to it so that its current carrying capacity is increased is called as extrinsic semiconductors. Now we should know about doping. So doping is the process of deliberately adding suitable impurity to a pure semiconductor to increase its current carrying capacity. So why there is need for doping? So we know that the current carrying capacity of intrinsic or pure semiconductor is very less. So to be useful in electronic devices, their current carrying capacity must be larger. And for this purpose, certain amount of impurity, small amount of impurity is added to pure semiconductor. And this process of adding suitable impurity to pure semiconductor is known as doping. And the material which is formed, it is called as impurity semiconductor, or it is called as extrinsic semiconductor. Generally, for 10 raised to 8 atoms of semiconductor, only one impurity atom is added. Let us have comparison between intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors. So intrinsic semiconductor are the pure form of semiconductor, whereas extrinsic semiconductors, these are impure form or doped semiconductors. So in intrinsic or pure form of semiconductors, number of free electrons and number of holes, these are equal, while in extrinsic semiconductors, number of free electrons is not equal to number of holes. Intrinsic semiconductors have low electrical conductivity, whereas extrinsic semiconductors have high electrical conductivity. In intrinsic semiconductors, current conduction is due to both free electrons and holes, whereas in extrinsic semiconductors, current conduction is due to free electrons or holes. It depends upon the type. It depends upon which type of impurity material is added in pure semiconductor. So Fermi energy level, that is average energy level, it lies exactly at the center of forbidden energy gap. That is, it is equidistant from valence band and conduction band. Whereas in extrinsic semiconductor, Fermi energy level is not at the center of forbidden energy gap. It is shifted either towards valence band or towards the conduction band, depending upon the type of extrinsic semiconductor. Now let us have comparison between N-type and P-type extrinsic semiconductors. We have seen earlier that the semiconductor in its pure form is called as intrinsic semiconductor, but its current carrying capacity it is very low. So to increase its current carrying capacity, certain type of impurity atoms are added in pure semiconductor by the process called as doping, and then such type of semiconductors are called as extrinsic semiconductors. Depending on the type of impurity atom added to pure semiconductor, we have two types of extrinsic semiconductors, as N-type extrinsic semiconductors and P-type extrinsic semiconductors. So when a small amount of pentavalent impurity is added to pure semiconductor, then N-type semiconductors are formed. Whereas when small amount of trivalent impurity atom is added to pure semiconductor, P-type semiconductors are formed. Pentavalent impurity means it has 5 valence electrons, whereas trivalent impurity means it has 3 valence electrons. So examples of pentavalent impurities are arsenic, antimony, phosphorus, bismuth. Whereas examples of trivalent impurities are gallium, indium, boron and aluminum. we know that semiconductors, these are tetravalent elements having 4 valence electrons. They are in group 4 of periodic table. So pentavalent impurities which are used to form n-type semiconductors, this forms group 5 of periodic table, whereas trivalent impurities which are used to form p-type semiconductor materials, these are in the group 3 of periodic table. So whenever pentavalent impurity is added to pure semiconductor to form n-type semiconductors, a large number of free electrons are generated. Whereas whenever trivalent impurity atom is added in pure semiconductor to form p-type semiconductors, a large number of holes are generated. So pentavalent impurities which provide free electrons, these are called as donor impurities because they provide free electrons to the semiconductor crystal. Whereas trivalent impurities which provide holes to accept the electrons, these are called as acceptor impurities. Now we will show how these n-type and p-type semiconductors are formed with the help of the diagram. So arsenic here, it is a pentavalent impurity, it has 5 valence electrons. So out of these 5 valence electrons, 4 valence electrons, these are engaged in the 4 covalent bonds, but 1 electron, it has no place in the covalent bond, so it remains free here. So every time whenever any pentavalent impurity atom is added, 1 electron remains free here. In p-type semiconductors, here we have shown gallium. Gallium is the trivalent impurity atom. It has only 3 valence electrons. So these 3 valence electrons get engaged in 3 covalent bonds with 3 neighboring silicon atoms. But in this 4th covalent bond, this gallium atom has no valence electron to share with this silicon atom. So there is 1 electron missing in this covalent bond. This missing electron is called as hole. So whenever a trivalent impurity atom is added to pure silicon or germanium atom, one hole is generated. So in n-type extrinsic semiconductor, as there are large number of free electrons, current conduction is by free electrons. Whereas in p-type semiconductors, there are large number of holes, so current conduction is by holes. In n-type semiconductors, we have a large number of electrons, so majority charge carriers are electrons while minority charge carriers are holes. In p-type semiconductors, there are large number of holes, so holes are majority charge carriers whereas electrons are minority charge carriers. So Fermi energy level, it shifts towards the conduction band in case of n-type extrinsic semiconductors, because in n-type semiconductors we have a large number of free electrons available for current conduction. Hence this Fermi energy level, it shifts towards the conduction band. Whereas in case of p-type semiconductors, current conduction is by holes. Holes are the majority charge carriers. There are large number of holes present in p-type semiconductors. Holes possess positive charge. So that's why we say that Fermi energy level, it shifts towards the valence band. But as you know that n-type and p-type, n stands for negative, p stands for positive. But both n-type and p-type semiconductors, these are electrically neutral. No charge on any of the extrinsic semiconductors. Thank you very much. If you like this video, you can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.